Hello again, and thanks very much for joining us. I'm Michael Nath. Now we'll begin business now from Russia, looking at the impact of the ongoing crisis on the state of the economy and businesses' activities across the globe. Russia has threatened to cut its main gas pipeline to Germany if the West goes ahead with a ban on its oil. Deputy Prime Minister Alexander Novak said a rejection of Russian oil would lead to catastrophic consequences for the global market, causing prices to more than double to 300 barrels a day. Now, the US has been exploring a potential ban with allies as way of punishing Russia for its invasion of Ukraine. But Germany and the Netherlands rejected the plan on Monday. The EU gets about 40% of its gas and 30% of its oil from Russia and has no easy substitutes if supplies are disrupted. While the UK would not be directly impacted by supply disruption, as it imports less than 5% of its gas from Russia, it will be affected by prices rising in the global markets as demand in Europe increases. In an address on Russian state television, Novak said it would be impossible to quickly find a replacement for Russian oil on the European market, pointing to Germany's decision last month to freeze certification of Nord Stream 2, a new gas pipeline connecting the two countries. He added that an oil embargo could prompt retaliation. Russia is the world's top producer of natural gas and second top producer of crude oil, and any move to sanction its energy industry would badly damage its own economy. Now, the head of the World Food Programme, David Beasley, warns that the conflict in Ukraine could send global food prices soaring with a catastrophic impact on the world's poorest. Ukraine and Russia are both major exporters of basic foodstuff, and the war has already hit crop production, driving up prices. Beasley said it was putting more people at risk of starvation worldwide. Russia and Ukraine, once dubbed the breakfast or bread basket of Europe, export about a quarter of the world's wheat and half of its sunflower products like seeds and oil. Ukraine also sells a lot of corn globally. Analysts have warned that war could impact the production of grains and even double global wheat prices. Now, gasoline prices are pushing even farther above $4 a gallon, the highest price that American motorists have faced since July 2008, as calls grow to ban imports of Russian oil. Prices at the pump were rising long before Russia invaded Ukraine and have spiraled faster since the start of the war. The U.S. national average for a gallon of gasoline has soared 45 cents a gallon in the past week and stopped $4.06 on Monday, according to Auto Club. Now, similarly, dock workers around the world are pushing to widen bans on Russian ships from their ports, moves that would potentially blacklist more than 1,700 vessels connected to the country, as its invasion of Ukraine strains already disrupted global supply chains. Longshoremen unions from Canada, the US, and Australia are taking the steps on their own or are asking their governments to refuse entry to Russian merchant ships following the UK's decision to do so as part of a growing array of sanctions against Vladimir Putin's regime. Paddy Crumlin, president of the International Transport Workers Federation, said in a statement Thursday that workers around the world are defiant in opposition to Russia's invasion, including thousands of dock workers showing solidarity with the people of the Ukraine and contempt for Putin's aggression. The shipping industry that served as a lifeline to economies through the pandemic is joining the global backlash against Putin's military offensive by severing trade links. Almost all of the largest seaborne container carriers, with China's COSCO shipping company being a notable exception, are publicly refusing to book Russian cargo. And now on the local scene, members of the host communities producing oil and gas are kicking against identified loopholes in the Petroleum Industry Act and are calling on the Senate to effect necessary modifications in the Act. This was disclosed in a memorandum signed by the National President, HostCom, Benjamin Tamaranebi, and filed with the Senate Joint Committee on Petroleum Industries public hearing on the 2021 PIA Amendment Bill. The memo noted that HostCom members were not included in the inauguration of the steering committee and the appointment of the various governing boards of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Nigerian Upstream Regulatory Commission, and Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Regulatory Authorities. It said that no attention was paid to the concerns impacting host communities. It raised concerns about the isolation of the host villages, who are meant to be the first key of stakeholders. The Nigerian Exchange Limited sustained a sliding profile at the reopening of transactions on Monday, as many blue-chip stocks, especially Niger Insurance and ICO, depreciated in price, resulting in a further decline in market capitalization by $4 billion, or 4 billion naira. The all-share index declined by 6.00%, representing a decrease of 0.01% to close at 47,262.61 points. Similarly, the overall market capitalization value lost 3 billion naira to close at 25.472 trillion naira. The market's negative performance was driven by price depreciation in large and medium capitalized stocks, which are Seplat Energy, Africa Prudential, Union Bank of Nigeria, Nascon Allied Industries, and Unilever Nigeria. The Nigeria Customs Service on Monday announced the suspension of its controversial vehicle identification number policy for valuation of imported vehicles. The contentious valuation policy, which effectively hiked the customs duty payable on fairly used imported vehicles by more than 200%, was resisted by clearing agents operating at the Tinkan Island and PTML customs commands in Lagos. The agents blockaded the two customs commands, refusing to allow the clearing of goods from the port. However, customs announced the suspension of the policy for 30 days via a circular. Meanwhile, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has expressed interest to participate in the acquisition of the power plants put up for sale by the federal government through the Nigeria Integrated Power Plants. The group managing director of NNPCL, Malam Mele Kolo Kiri, said this when he led the top management team of the firm to BPE in Abuja. Kiri said as an oil company and enabler organization, NNPCL was determined to boost power generation and supply to Nigerian homes through increased investment. Hence, it had signed a contract with China Machinery Engineering Company and General Electric to provide 50 megawatts of electricity to Maiduguri, Borno State. Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprises, Alex A. Oko, said that the NNPCL had indicated interest in the acquisition of some NIPP plants and would be given a level playing ground to compete with other bidders. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has assisted Nigeria with a total of $6.8 billion in emergency support to cushion the effect of the coronavirus pandemic in 2020 and 2021. IMF country representative in Nigeria, Ari Aison, who spoke at the American Business Council Economic Update, where experts explored opportunities and imperatives for businesses in Nigeria, said, quote, because of the pandemic, IMF has extended emergency assistance of $3.4 billion in 2020. In 2021 also, because of the pandemic, there was a special drawing right allocation of $3.4 billion. It is an additional resource to boost international reserves of the country. So in 2 years, $6.8 billion was deployed in emergency support for Nigeria, end of quote.